Hello there. Welcome back to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and tonight I'm excited to introduce you to my new best friend, Journey. Journey has been voted by Close to My Heart to be our color of the year for 2023 and 24. And we have Journey stamp pads, re-inkers, loose sequins, glitter gems, dots, shimmer brushes, shimmer trim, and glitter paper, and more. So exciting. And in honor of our brand new color of the year, Journey, I'm going to create a single page scrapbooking layout tonight. And we're going to use some Journey glitter paper, some of the gorgeous two-sided Journey cardstock shown here. I'm pulling in our brand new Irresistibles that just debuted on September 1st, which is our Resist cardstock. We're going to add some treatments to those, and you can see the embedded Resist patterns inside them. And we're going to give them lots of different tones of Journey with different treatments. I'm using these three photos on a single page layout, and I am belly laughing in these photos. We are at our favorite restaurant, the Honu restaurant in Hawaii, in Maui, near Lahaina. And we were there in July, and we had quite the experience during the day. And we were relaxing and visiting, and we revisited our day, and I could not stop laughing. So I'm excited to share that story with you, but my vision is to create a sequence of these three photos in which I'm just enjoying my dinner and suddenly die laughing. It was a throw your head back belly laugh. So I'm actually being inspired this evening by a card pattern. So here is our brand new volume 6, Make It From Your Heart, that has wonderful new scrapbooking and card making patterns in it. And I actually liked this slimline pattern. I liked how it had some different levels on it and a focal area for some strips and a circle. And I like how the triangles came together to hold the center strip and piece. But I wanted to bring in this stamp set called Design Elements. It has all of these cool little background stamps that can create texture and interest on your pages. So I thought that I would bring that in. I'm going to be doing a monochromatic layout, meaning it's going to primarily consist of all shades of Journey and no stickers from a sticker sheet and no other added pattern papers or colors. So I've pulled in a couple things. In our brand new Core Essentials catalog, we have some digital art, which is, they're just simply $1 each. And I loved this Best Day Ever with the sun. So what I decided to do is do the sun in Journey instead of yellow. I cut out a shaker from our shaker window thin cuts, our circle shaker window, the outer circle in our Journey glitter paper, the inner circle in white. I did a little bit of inking with our blending brush and some Journey ink in the background, and I found a little Cricut saying that said, "Trust the Journey," added our loose Journey sequins in there, and turned that sun into an adorable Journey colored shaker window. I did also use some of the Design Element stamped stars in the background as well for even more tone and texture. Then I took the Best Day Ever digital art piece, which is an SVG that can be uploaded into your cutting machine. And instead of using all the little teeny tiny pieces that were in there, I used three different colors. I used the background of regular Journey. I used Journey glitter paper on some of the pieces, and then I reversed the image on the Journey so that it would be the light side of Journey on some of the other pieces. So you have light Journey, dark Journey, or true Journey, and Journey glitter paper to make that a more monochromatic design. So now I have the crisscross pattern in our brand new Irresistibles, and I'm thinking that I want that on the back of a 12 by 12 Journey cardstock. So I've taken 11.5 by 11.5 of that Irresistibles. Then I've taken an 8.5 by 8.5 Journey cardstock, cut it on a diagonal so that it would give me 2 triangles and I would be able to use the light side. So now you can see the card pattern that I'm actually creating that top and bottom triangle. Now the tips of the triangle won't show, and we're going to be doing some treatments on that white Irresistibles Resist cardstock, but now you can see that I want to create that center focal piece. So I want to pull in another Irresistibles pattern, which is 6, I believe, by, let's take a look here. I think it's 6 by 11. Yep, 6 by 11, and it is this stripe Irresistible Resist pattern. Now, you can gut this out and leave like a 1-inch frame. I wasn't thinking, and I didn't gut that, but I'm actually going to put another white daisy piece in the center of that, and we're going to do lots of treatments on that. And the white daisy piece is 4 3/4 by 10, and that is on that interior 6 by 11 resist piece. We're going to use another piece of Irresistibles, which is this leaf pattern, and I believe I went 3/4 by, I think it was, I'm going to have to check those measurements for you, and I'll put those in a text on the screen for you. And the other one I know is 1/2. So we have a 3/4 inch resist leaf pattern, and we have a 1/2 inch Journey cardstock, and I'm going to do some texturizing of that in using the scoring board. So now my idea is to just snuggle up that first photo where I'm sort of acting normal with my sunburned nose from being on the beach all day. And then suddenly you see that second and third photo where I have a huge belly laugh. Well, unbeknownst to us, we had went to Big McKenna Beach in Maui, and we took a hike over a large lava rock wall, and we were going to hike to Little McKenna Beach. And so let's go over, and what we're going to do, and I'll finish the story here in a second, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a very light hand, and we're going to add with our blending brushes Journey ink in a very light hand. Because we're not using any pattern papers, we're only using the Resist cardstock patterns on this entire layout. I want the Journey monochromatic Journey, to use it in a monochromatic way and have it look like different colors, or at least different tones. So I'm using a super light hand on this, and I'm actually going to go off camera and finish because it's such a large piece. And then I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel so that that white resist pattern will show through. It's kind of a little bit hard to see, but it's definitely going to show through when we see it, and I love that it's a little patchworky and washy. So it looks a little bit darker in spots and a little bit lighter in spots. And I actually, if I had been thinking, didn't need to do some of that middle, like the top and the bottom middle. Now we're going to pull in that 3/4 inch strip, and we're going to use a heavy hand. Still the Journey ink and the blending brush, but we're going to go much deeper and much stronger. And we're going to add that to make a completely different tone of Journey. So I'm not using any other inks this evening except Journey, and I'm just using different strengths of my hand. So I'm using very heavy hand on this one, and then I'm planning on doing a little dovetail on that at the end, and then we'll do some other inking treatments. Since we have the Journey ink out, we'll go ahead and do as much of the inking as we can so we don't have to get that out again. So I'm going to rub off just the resist part. So it makes that white resist part really nice and clear. So now look at those two together. They don't even look like the same color when you put the regular Journey cardstock next to the light hand resist cardstock next to the dark hand resist cardstock. It's crazy how they look different. So I'm just using my stamp chamois to wipe off, and I'm being very careful because I get ink all over my hands. I'm just going to put a couple pencil marks on the striped resist cardstock where it's going to be covered up so that I don't have to ink that. Now you can go ahead and pause and gut out that center. There's a lot of really good pattern in there that you could use for something else. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go dark hand, light hand, dark hand, light hand. So I'm going pretty dark in the corner. Then I'm going to do a streak of very light. Then I'm going to come in and go really dark again, and then another streak of really light. And I'm going to do that all the way around and just create this interesting washing in and washing out of the Journey color. And then we're going to do quite a bit of treatment on that center white daisy piece as well. When you do a monochromatic layout, you're looking for a lot of different ways to use the same color and make it look different with different patterns, with different treatments, with different stamping, so that you can have that be a monochromatic look without having to use different pattern papers. And had we had some other Journey pattern papers, I totally would have used some of the pattern paper, but this is such a fun challenge to be able to make a beautiful layout with the Journey. So back to my story. While I'm doing my inking here, we climbed up a large lava rock wall. We had spent the day at Big McKenna Beach, and there's a big lava rock wall, and we were told that there's a little beach on the other side of the lava rock wall. So we climbed up the lava rock wall and got to the other side to another beach entrance. And we went into the little McKenna Beach, and we got about halfway into the beach, and then we realized that no one had clothes on. It was a nude beach. I don't know if it was legal to be a nude beach or not, but I was so immature because I did not know where to look. And I don't consider myself a prude, but I was so caught off guard and I didn't know what to do. And so we just started running, and that is not the end of the story. Oh my gosh. So what I did is I pressed some Journey ink into the all-purpose mat, spritzed a little water on that, and now I'm just running the edges of this white daisy piece into the ink to create a really cool effect. So you kind of have to be careful, and I'm taking a look at it and I want more. I love that look. It's such a cool way to add a neat pattern to the back of the cardstock, and yet one more way to use your Journey ink. So many fun ways to use your ink. You can splatter, you can do this watercolor wash technique, and it definitely needs to dry, but we're going to be doing some more techniques to it. I'm going to rub with a light hand a little bit more Journey. It's part dry and part wet, so I'm going to add a little bit more to just soften the edges of that that watercolor inking that we did. And I love that it's a random, distressed sort of pattern, watercolor pattern that just gets on there. It's a super fast technique, and you just can dip your paper in that. You definitely want to let it dry, and then definitely when you're adhering it down, you want to have the edges secure, because you did make those edges wet so that when they dry, they may curl a little bit. Now I'm actually taking my watercolor brush, and I could actually do just a little splatter with that same ink, but I also wanted to try out my Journey shimmer brush. And guess what? I accidentally used my sapphire shimmer brush. I was so mad at myself. So instead of grabbing the Journey that I wanted to use, I accidentally grabbed the sapphire. But you know what? As with all mistakes, I ended up loving the contrast. So what I did is I came back in with the watercolor brush and the ink and a little water, and I splattered some of the Journey over the top of the sapphire shimmer brush. So then I actually, when I created the circle shaker window piece for the sun element, I went ahead and created another circle element with the heart resist cardstock, thinking I might need extra bits because we don't have a sticker sheet. We don't have any other elements. I'm hand making all of our bits. So I thought I would go ahead on the stitched outer circle from our shaker window element that we've had for a long time, and we still have, and that I love and I still use always to this day because I love it. Now this is the interior leftover piece of that shaker, and I'm doing a light hand on it. So this is going to show a heart resist pattern on both the outer ring and the inner circle. I have no idea what I'm going to use those for, or if I'm even going to use them, but I figured since I had my shaker window circle out, I might as well make some more elements and patterns. Now, since we are using these triangles that we made earlier by cutting that 8.5 by 8.5 inch Journey cardstock piece in half on a diagonal, we're using the light side. Sometimes when you cut on our white core cardstock, and then you flip it over and you use the back side, you can have a little bit of that white core showing. So I'm just taking my my sponge ink blending not blending brush, but my sponge dauber. Oh my goodness, I can't even think. My tool, my blending tool. And I'm just inking the edges with a little bit more Journey. Now I want more texture, and I'm not quite sure how to add more texture. So I have this 1/2 inch strip of Journey cardstock, and I'm going to add some score lines to it and distress those just to add a little more texture to the page. Again, I'm trying to be creative in using all of these monochromatic or same color pieces, but have them look a little bit different. So we're using Journey everything. So Journey cardstock, Journey glitter paper, Journey ink in lots of different ways. And so because it's all the same color, I want to add a little bit of texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend that piece back and forth like an accordion, and I'm going to add a little texture to that by either using an emery board or a little bit of roughing that up a little bit with some sandpaper. So I'm just going to add a little bit of sandpapering to that and add a little texture and on those score lines. And I actually want to add even more. So what I end up doing is adding a little bit of blank ink with my I don't know if it's my head cold or what it is, but I'm stumbling over the tongue twisters tonight. So luckily I hope that this cold doesn't get any worse, but it's just one of those wonderful fall head colds. So it's just obnoxious, and I'm annoyed by it. But anyway, I'm not sure if that's why I'm stumbling, but the ink blending tool. So we have our blending brush, we have our ink blending tool, and I'm adding a little bit of ink to that. And then I'm going to fold this whole thing up, come back in with my sanding tool or my just to add a little bit of rough edges to that. and see if that can add a nice little texture. It's just a little piece, but it just changes the color and the texture of that a little bit. Now I'm going to come in, go up in the center about a 1/2 inch, and then come in from either side to create a dovetail on the end of that piece. I'm going to repeat that on the piece that we treated with the heavy hand, the Journey with the blending brush with the heavy hand. And wow, we've got some wonderful bits now. Now I actually want to do bring all my pieces back in so that I can see where I need some added stamping. So we have that 12 by 12 Journey background, the 11 3/4 by 11 3/4 treated Irresistibles crisscross pattern treated with a light hand of that Journey ink. Then we have our 2 triangles created created with the 8.5 by 8.5 square. Then we have our striped pattern that I believe was 6 by 11. Then we have our white daisy piece that was 4 3/4 by 10 that we treated with a little bit of water and Journey ink and a little bit of sapphire shimmer brush and a little splattering with some more Journey ink. Then we have our I believe it's 3/4 inch piece of our leaf Irresistibles treated with a heavy hand of Journey ink, and then our 1/2 inch cardstock, Journey cardstock that we scored by scoring at 1/2 inches all the way across and roughing it up a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper. And then we have our 2 little decorative pieces, our shaker element that we made. And when I lay my pieces in place, I'm adding a little pencil to mark what will be left over in terms of filler, where I could do a little bit more texture, even more texture in the background with our design element stamp set. Now, I've only used one stamp from this stamp set, and it was the stars that I used in the back of the shaker element here. And so I don't know what I want to use. So when we don't know and when in doubt, we're going to get some scrap paper and we're going to test out those stamps and just see what those stamps look like. Now, I definitely love the crackly stamp. I feel like I'm going to use that for sure, but let's just check them all out. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to flip over my Versamat to the soft side, which is the side that I always use when stamping, and have my all-purpose mat over. I have my scrap paper. Ooh, I love that. I just love the look of that. This design element stamp set, I can already tell that I'm going to be using it over and over on so many things. And it debuted on September 1st, and I am loving it. So I just am going to use some of these pieces. There's the speckled piece. There's quite a bit of speckle already with the shimmer brush speckle. So I don't know if I want to do speckle on speckle, but I just want to play with these. I want to do each of these stamps and just see what I like and what I can use them for, and use as many of those as I can. We don't have a lot of leftover spots that we need as filler, but I do want to have even more texture. We're getting so much fun elements with texture and blending and inking, and it just makes for all different colors of Journey. You can hardly tell that they're the same color because it goes light and dark. So we get to McKenna, little McKenna, and we are running. It was my girlfriend and I, by the way, my girlfriend Amy, and we were running and laughing ridiculously. And I was so embarrassed that I was so immature, but I didn't know where to look because everyone was naked. And so we ran all the way to the other end of the beach, and we were laughing so hard. And we had been on the beach all day, and there were porta potties, but I hadn't gone to the bathroom in a while because it's just a hassle, to leave the beach and go all the way to the bathroom. And I had been holding it, and I had to go so bad. And I was so afraid. I was laughing so hard. I thought I was going to wet my pants. Okay, so now you can see that I went with the lighter crackle and then with the little, I'm going to call it a blotch over the top of it at the bottom and the top of that white daisy piece. Now we can pull it together and just see how that's going to look with all of those treatments on that white daisy. Ooh, I just love it. Don't you love Journey? It's gorgeous. I just love it. I can kind of see this starting to come together now, and I'm really, really loving it. So let's just get the placement of all the bits. My favorite thing to do, make your bits, place your bits, and then we'll embellish with the bits that we created. And so I just kind of want to lay things out, get them in place, and then off camera I'll secure all of that. I'm not exactly sure how the photos are going to go, but I will secure all of that into place, and we'll do some final embellishing with some of those extra bits. And I think that what I want to do is to create a little bit of a few circles, a few softer circles, but I also cut out some 2x3 rectangles that I thought I may need some tags because I need some journaling. So now here I am where I've adhered all of those pieces that we've been talking about into place, and I'm just going to put those final pieces down in their final destination. So anyway, we are laughing our butts off, and we get all the way to the end of Little McKenna Beach, and we're passing people on the left and on the right, walking, laying, swimming, all naked. And we get to the other end, and we're so relieved. We get to the other end, and what do we find out? There's no way out. All there is at the end is some more volcanic rock, and it drops off on the other side. And my friend and I were like, oh my gosh, we have to go back. And so we had to go back across the same beach that we were just so immature, like little, 12-year-old girls. And we had to run back across. So I grabbed my girlfriend's hand and I'm like, ready, set, go. And we ran as fast as we could. I didn't even know I could run that fast. So when we were out to dinner at Honu, we our favorite place to eat, by the way, and I'm so sad, so sad at all the tragedy in Lahaina, and I'm so happy we have so many pictures of our adventures in Lahaina, and it's one of our favorite places to go, and my prayers and my heart goes out to all of those people who have lost those businesses, and that restaurant is gone now from the horrible fire. So it's so sad. But when we were at the restaurant, we were enjoying a wonderful meal. Oh my goodness, best place to eat ever. I so hope that they're able to rebuild and that they get some relief. So just creating a tag by snipping off about a 1/2 inch of the corner, taking that corner, putting it over to the other side of the tag. I actually have the both tags on top of each other to create both of those tags at the same time. And I'm just going to make a hole punch in the top of both of those tags to create those tags. But anyway, when we were at dinner, I was just all relaxed, and we, so much sun. You can tell in my face is sunburned, my nose is sunburned, so much sun, and just completely relaxed. And you know how you are after you've eaten and it's a good meal. And then my girlfriend brought up our day, and I just couldn't hold it. My head flew back and went down, and I was laughing so hard again. And right at that very moment, she snapped my photo, and I thought, that's the story. I don't hardly do scrapbooking layouts of just me by myself. I'm trying to get better at that because it looks like I'm not in any of our scrapbooks because I'm always the one behind the camera. And so I was so happy to be able to tell this story because we got so many laughs about it, and it was such a great day in the sun, a great day on the beach. So grateful to have the photos of Lahaina and then our hilarious story accidentally stumbling on the nude beach. So I've cut a 1/8 inch strip of the glitter paper, the Journey glitter paper, and I like to create like faux ribbon tops that go on the tops of tags. And so if you just create that 1/8 inch strip and then tuck it down into the tag, do 2 of those and toggle those, it makes it look like a glitter ribbon. And I love doing that. You can do that with our Journey shimmer trim as well. That makes for great ribbon, like faux ribbon tags. And I just cut a couple of those pieces in half. So I have that circle is the 3-inch leftover circle from the sun shaker window in the upper right. And then we have the heart irresistible circle. So I'm going to cut pieces off of both of those and then cut the heart circle outer ring in half, tuck those tags under, and use the one tag to journal our funny story and use the other bits to decorate. And so I'm going to tuck some of those pieces under just to add more bits. And are you just blown away by the fact that we're creating our own little bits basically out of cardstock, white cardstock, Journey cardstock, and glitter paper? So here was my practice little scrap paper, and I just was messing around on this scrap paper and experimenting with the stamp, and I'm like, why not use that to add some extra added interest? We've already stamped it, and so I thought I would tear the end and try to figure out where to put that. I end up wanting a little longer piece, and I had actually stamped that those circles twice. And so I end up scrapping the first one and going back in and getting a longer strip. But my idea was to just sort of use those junk bits, those little bits of stamping. I was just stamping on there just to see what I liked. And I'm like, well, it's already stamped. We might as well use it. And then I had just a little bit of that 1/8 inch little glitter paper strip left over from making that faux ribbon on the tag. So I thought, well, let's cut out a longer piece. Let's leave a little bit of space at the end and let's tear the ends. And then let's decorate that with a little bit of that 1/8 inch glitter paper. And then I also noticed that there's that other little bit that we stamped that is the strips. And why not make that into a dovetail piece and use that as well? We could probably actually make even more dovetailed banners out of all of that scrap bit that I just did my practice stamping on. So fun, and it makes me feel like, what do you want to say? Industrious. Like it just makes me feel industrious that I've actually used up all these little random bits and made them into something useful. I love doing that. So I'm going to add that up to the top in some way, shape, or form. I'll just kind of lay those bits up there for now, and then we'll kind of turn that into something. Tear a little bit of that glitter paper, and then probably what I need to do is pull in the white gel pen, I'm thinking, and then also the maybe my black Le Pen, and do a little bit of scribbling around the journal tags and probably around the whole outer edge as well. So you can see I added black Le Pen around the tags, both of them, and white gel pen around the outer edge. I arranged those little junk pieces because I'm a junk gypsy, and then now all that's left is the bling, and I couldn't decide between the dots and the glitter gems, but I felt like because we had the glitter paper in this, that the glitter gems were best served. So I'm making a couple clusters of 3. You can see we have this great visual triangle now. We have the Journey sun in the upper right, we have the Journey title and clusters over to the left, and then we have the tags over to the lower right, and it makes this great visual triangle cluster of three, I guess you could say, or visual triangle around those three photos. And now it tells my funny story of my adventures in Maui with my friend Amy, where we accidentally ended up on the nude beach. It will make me laugh forever. I'm so happy I only had those three photos to represent that story, because obviously we didn't take any pictures on the nude beach, but there is a first time for everything, and we will forever have a great laugh about that. Now I'm just doing a little dot, dot, dot with my white gel pen. You know the drill. If you have it out and you're using it anyway, why not? I hope you love it. I hope you enjoyed my story. I love scrapbooking with a sense of humor. Hey, if you've been inspired and you've enjoyed tonight's video, won't you please hit subscribe, like, follow, and shoot me a comment. I would love to hear from you. I can't wait to see what you think about our brand new color journey and my adventures on the nude beach. Happy scrapping, everyone, and thanks for hanging with me. It's my favorite thing to do is hang out and share the love of paper crafting. Bye-bye.